Welcome to this edition of B.E.P Talks, where amazing guests spend time with me, boldly and brilliantly sharing their beliefs, their experiences, and their passions with our audience. And we've never had an exception. We have fabulous guests, and today is certainly another one of those moments. Joining me today to talk about something that seems so simple, and yet I guess it's really not as simple as we would hope that it could be or should be. We're going to be talking about being happy. And today, my very special guest coming to us from New York City is Natalie Betros. Welcome, Natalie.
Hello. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
My absolute pleasure. As I said, well, I am a lifelong New Yorker. I know you are in New York via originally from Lebanon through Turkey, now into New York, a very typical New York story. Let me ask you, what was it that brought you to New York in the first place?
So, the part that you don't know is I'm Lebanese and I lived in Turkey until the age of 10. And then my parents sent me to Switzerland. And I stayed there, I studied there, and I worked there. And I had a beautiful life. And one day, at the age of 25, I had it all. I had a great job, great life, this beautiful apartment. And it was like, there's something missing in my life. And it was the day that I started kind of my quest for, at that time, I didn't know what it was, but for happiness. And that quest brought me first to Italy, and I lived there a couple of years. And then I said, maybe I need a bigger move. So I said, let me cross the Atlantic. And it's how I came to the United States, to New York. But the funny
Wow.
story is, when I came to New York, at the beginning, of course, like, you know how is New York? It's exciting. It's the city that never sleeps. I was like so excited, but without noticing, after less than a year, I gained a lot of weight. And now I was really unhappy, but really, really, really. And and I did what all of us women do. I tried every diet on the market. Everything you hear it, I tried it. I will call them my little black dress, of diets. And until the day that I said, stop to this insanity, find happiness within. And the minute that I did that,
There was actually a weight loss program called Stop the Insanity many, many years ago.
really, I didn't try that one. I should have tried that one.
It really was nothing, I don't think, very revolutionary. But so you couldn't have gone to a bigger market than the Big Apple itself.
Yeah.
So yes, so having been a New Yorker my almost my entire life, except for the last couple of years, I can totally relate to the excitement, the overwhelm, and the overweight. Who has better restaurants than New York City?
Yeah, it's true. But I think it's also, I came from Europe, so the cultures are different. Here in the US, I mean, right now it's getting better, but bigger is better. So, like, when you order, they size it up, like, and all these
Oh,
deliveries. Back then in Europe, we didn't have all this.
yes,
And then, like,
yes.
whatever we ate was very healthy and organic. Here, organic is it's becoming bigger and bigger. But in those days, it wasn't really that. So I really got caught up in this world where I gained the weight.
Well,
And
but again, great restaurants and again, big, big portions in New York. So, as I mentioned before introducing you, something that seems so natural, something that should be so attainable, something that really is very personal and perhaps very individualized. What makes you happy? What makes you happy? Et cetera, et cetera. Why are so many people unhappy?
well, they do what I did, the mistake that I did, and it's why I'm trying to spread this message to everyone. They try to find happiness on the external factors. Like the way I thought first that it was like the country where I lived was like the reason, my job, I changed it, my partner, I changed it, and then when I came to New York, it was my body, always external factors. But the problem is all these external factors, they come and go. The only thing that stays is the person you see in the mirror. It's basically you. So you have to base your happiness on yourself and find this happiness within. So I think that's why a lot of people are unhappy because, like, they always say, I'm sure you heard this, I'll be happy when this happens. I'll be happy when I'll get this. when I'll be richer, when I'll be more successful. But that's not, these are great stuff. I'm not saying these are bad stuff. These should be the cherry on top, but these should not base your happiness.
Right, right. Or there's stepping stones that we keep moving and upping the goals and wanting more and more. So are we asking for too much? Are we,
Yes, we are. And actually, there has been a study which is like quite amazing for me that I always talk about. 50% of our happiness is genetics and biology. So whether we see the glass half full or half empty, it's it's predisposed. 40% of our happiness, it's our intentional activities, which are what we choose to do to become happy. And only 10%, 10% is the external factors. And we all base it to all those 10%. And it's why everybody is unhappy.
so here's an expression I've used a lot based on that math. I love numbers. I'm a numbers person, so this puts it in very good perspective. I'm a little surprised. 50% genetics and biology, 40% intentional activity, and 10% external factors. Are we majoring in the minors?
We are. We all are like on those 10%. And we keep staying on 10 on those 10%. And as you say, we're asking too much. We're really asking always too much, but we have to sometimes, take a break from asking, saying thank you with what we have and
Amen.
appreciate it.
Amen. Amen. Absolutely. So why I love the 50% because I can tell you I'm from a big family, and while we are also obviously, biologically connected, that the glass is always half full for me, plus at least a drop. And then I know within the family, it's always half empty with a less drop. And I've done so much training and coaching, and I've said half full and half empty. It's exactly the same thing. It's just the way you're looking at it. So if you're looking at it this way, tilt your head the other way and you'll see it from a different angle.
I love this.
Is
It's
that
true.
not like so smart?
I know it's like I always say we have to change the perspective. And by looking at it in a different way, by finding the positive or the silver lining, it can change our view on everything in life.
So why do some people seem so, well, I guess it's their biology. They're just naturally, innately happy over
I think
simpler
it's the
things.
comfort zone. It's always safe to live in our misery because it's a known life. And if we get out of the comfort zone and try to be happy, it's kind of like it's the unknown. And a lot of people are scared of that.
So if 50% of it is genetics and biology, if you go to Vegas, you'll always bet on a 50-50. Like those are odds you're pretty much going to
This
take.
we cannot change. This we
Right.
cannot change. But what we can change is the 40%. It's what we do. The other 50%, it's in our hands. And actually, it's feeling very powerful to have your happiness in your hands.
Yes, that you actually, there is something you can control. And oh my gosh, just imagine if everybody put a little more energy into controlling their own happiness, if that just trickles out, that's just energy and vibration that keeps going. It affects other people.
Exactly. And it's like when we talk positively, we are positive, we see the happy side of things, the positive side of things, we attract the positivity. I mean, like I'm sure it happened to everyone. When something goes wrong, everything goes wrong because the negativity attract the negativity. So on those days, we have to like pause and try to remember of something good. It can be a good, like a laugh of a kid or like something good that happened to us, a little story, a little memory, and hold on to that and
Right.
change our energy to positive, to change the course of our day and our life.
It seems so simple because
It
it
is.
really is, I guess. I guess it really is. I've said to people again, I do coaching and whatnot, and I've said to people, when everything is going so swimmingly well, which we really do hope for everybody, that becomes a norm, that becomes an expectation. It's only in having a bad day every once in a while that you can recognize the really good days. It's by means of comparison.
Yeah.
Like you said, the weather. I've been up in New York last week, and it was windy and nasty, and I had come from Florida where it was beautiful, so it was a big change. And now you're saying it's very warm there, so
Yeah,
it's like things change. They do.
they do. I mean, it's like it, and I think we need to have bad days to value the good days.
Right, right. So
Otherwise, the good days won't exist.
exactly. If everything is good, that becomes maybe too norm and a. So you said what a beautiful day it is in New York today because last week was so not beautiful in New York.
Exactly. But I made the best out of it. I was like, at the end, I can wear my winter coats. I always find the positive in everything. Yeah.
Oh, I knew I was going to love you. I knew it. So you are called the bon vivant girl. Where did that
Yes.
come from? What does that mean to you?
So, as I mentioned, I came to New York and I gained all this weight and I tried all these diets and I stopped the insanity. And finally, the minute that I stopped dieting and focusing on myself instead of on my plate, I started to lose the weight as well because like it wasn't my focus. It was like, I was enjoying life and actually my energy changed. And everyone told me that I should write a book about it on my diet. I said, it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle. So I wrote a book about my lifestyle. It's called, you're gonna laugh. If you are what you eat, should I eat a skinny girl?
I know. I saw that. That's in my notes here. I know. If you are what you eat, should I eat a skinny girl? I'm like, wow.
I know. And then my book coach told me we should give you a brand. And she was like, because like I'm a traveler, she's like, shall we call you the jet setter girl, the party girl? I said, no, I'm actually a bon vivant, someone who enjoys everything in life, who takes pleasure from everything. I'm a bon vivant. She goes, there you go. Let's call you the bon vivant girl. And it's who I
I
am.
love it. I love it. And what a great name. And it seems to fit you so well that you just
Thank
the
you.
good life, the good life. That's wonderful. So focusing then on the 10%, which seems by numerical comparison what we shouldn't be focusing on, but what really does determine or deter us from finding that happiness. What I know that you have the happiness cocktail. That's also on your site. What are the 5 ingredients to creating the happiness cocktail?
Well, so the first of them is smile. Because if we smile, even if we force smile, our brain thinks that we're happy and we get happier. So even if you don't feel like it, fake it until you make it. But I mean, obviously, don't fake it all the time. Again, as I mentioned before, trying to find the positive in everything. Because like when we express ourselves, we think that it's just words. It's not words. Our brain and our body listens. For example, if you wake up in the morning and you say, I'm tired, all day long you're going to be tired because your body and mind listens to that. But if you say, I'm tired, you can be tired, but it was worth it because I finished the project, I was out with friends, I did something amazing. The body, and the mind are so smart that they get the positive connotation. So, as we say in a room, we can have we can experience two emotions at the same time, but
Mhm.
always the strong one will empower the weak one. If we leave the unhappiness, the negativity, take the room, we'll be unhappy. And the happiness, the positive, the silver lining, it's kind of the light that we put, like if you turn the light on, the negativity is still there, but it's so bright that you don't see it. So in
Ah,
during our days, we should keep trying to turn the light on of positivity, and it will give us a smile.
gosh, that makes so much sense. That makes so much sense. And a smile, you know, I could be walking around like in a shopping area, the grocery store, wherever, and I suddenly realize that people are smiling at me. And I
It's
say, why are
crazy.
you doing so? And I realize that I have I'm not walking around like, like that, but that I must be thinking something good. Maybe like, oh, I'm getting close to the cookie aisle, and that's making me
Yeah.
smile. And people sense that in you, and it puts a smile on their face. And such an easy gift to give a smile to somebody. Of
Yeah.
course, and it's good for your facial muscles too.
I
You're
know.
doing something good for yourself. Yeah. So,
And also, like I do actually about smiling. I'm creating this movement. It's called Smile It Forward. So I try to put a smile on at least one person's face daily. And I always choose the grumpiest persons. Like it can be at the grocery store or like anywhere.
and
And
they're
I
everywhere.
don't leave that spot until they have a smile. And I ask them to do the same to another person. So we
Oh,
can
okay.
create a ripple effect.
You make them aware of it. Oh, okay. You make them aware of it. I like that. Okay, so number one ingredient is smile. What's number two?
Move. I mean, it's like it can be move your body, like physically, but it can also mean move from an ordinary life to an extraordinary life. What I mean by that, I mean, move your body, obviously. I know that some people don't like to work out, but it's fine. Even like walking, it's our endorphins are released and we will be happy. The endorphins are our happiness hormones.
Right.
But and I mean, like you can choose whatever you want to move. I love to dance. So I dance when I cook, when I shower. It's like it's my little move. But move your life from ordinary to extraordinary. It's by saying yes to things, getting out of our comfort zone. And I know that the comfort zone, it's so comfy, and we're always scared from what's happening outside. But by just saying yes, we can really, really find the true happiness. And I'm not saying jump. Take small steps. Say yes to a new recipe, to a new restaurant. Say yes to your passions. Try
Mm.
to explore them, discover, and then slowly build up because it will be amazing to live a life filled with our passions and extraordinary.
And what's the difference between ordinary and extraordinary? It's the little extra. It's the little extra.
Exactly. I love that. I'm going to steal that from you.
Oh, you're going to have to give me footnotes in your book. You're going to have to put me in the bibliography or something. Okay, so we have smile and move, which kind of connect. When you're talking about move, for me, I love what music does to me. So even if you just have music playing in the background, um, it kind of, your body feels the rhythm, your body feels the beat. And that can create very positive energy, I would imagine.
Of course. It's like very, very, very positive. And
Very,
it's like your body's feeling it. It's definitely.
yes, yes. Okay, so we've got smile and move. What's number three?
Invest. So invest, it's investing in things that will make you happier. So of course, investing in gratitude, what we
Oh,
talked at the beginning, we have to. We, I mean, this society, we have tendency to want more. We want
mm,
more followers, we want more money, we want more success, more this, more that. We always want more. And we have to stop for a minute and invest in saying thank you,
oh,
saying this is amazing what I have. And some people said I have nothing to be thankful. I'm like, the fact that you're complaining means that you're alive, so you should be thankful.
amen. Yes, it's very simple things.
Yeah,
So I think, would you agree perhaps that there's so much good about technology, but as we would probably agree, there's always the flip side of that coin. So the social media, the pressure of people living and trying to compare their lives to others, that there's um, this, it's been proven, I believe, that people are exaggerating wonderful things in their lives, trying to stay very, very competitive, thinking that they have to keep up, that they don't have as much, that they're not therefore maybe as happy as others. So are we starting to live like false impressions even of our own lives?
we kind of do, I think, because we're trying to match, and it's like it's something that we should really not do it because like comparing ourselves is the biggest mistake we do. It's like we're unique and we should be who we are. And I think actually showing our weaknesses, it's a big strength instead of trying to prove that we're better than what we see. And as you said, social media is great, but there's
A
so
lot of
much
them,
fake
yeah.
in it. And I mean, you and I, we understand, but I see my niece, I see young kids, young girls and boys like getting impressed and wanting all this. It's really sad to see how.
It's very sad. It's very sad. You know, I grew up in a world where, um, from whether it was from an educational perspective, sports that you played, and I went to a school where we wore uniforms, so we all blended in that way. You know, we weren't. There was no comparison. There was an equal
Yeah,
playing, which I think was very, very beneficial. We didn't
yeah,
have to worry about that external stuff. And but you wanted to stand out for some reason. You wanted to stand out because whatever the reason was, and it could be silly little things, but they were important when you were growing up. Now it seems to me that a lot of people, maybe in Generation Z, just want to blend in, that they don't want to stand out, that they want to. So going back to social media, they want to just like move with the herd,
exactly.
move in the group hub.
Yeah. They don't want to stand out because they want to be like the others, like those celebrities. They want the same posterior, the same breast, the same hair. It's like they're losing their personality. And it's
Their
sad.
individuality, their uniqueness. Yeah,
Yes,
that's it. And that happened seemingly in a very short period of time, almost like in two generations, which is nothing, in the relativity of time, historically speaking. Okay, so now we have smile, move, invest in gratitude. I want to smile at you. I'm moving closer to you and I'm
yes, I
saying
agree.
thank you. Thank you for those first 3 points. What's point number 4? I think you froze a little bit, so we're just going to wait. We're talking to Natalie Betros, a psychotherapist, who's talking about something that should seem so automatic, so easy to achieve, and that is happiness, being happy. And she's sharing with us right now the 5 ingredients for the happiness cocktail. So you were frozen there, so I'm just reviewing a little bit. We have smile, move, and invest. What's point number 4? Ingredient number
It's
4.
it's love. And actually love should have been the first one because it's love, but actually self-love. Because
Mm,
if we don't love ourselves, how do we expect others to love us? I mean, like
amen.
we were talking about social media. If you don't love yourself, you change yourself, like Photoshop yourself, or you try to blend it. How do you expect others to love you? If you don't accept yourself, how do you expect others to do so? Everything starts with love, with self-love. And it's a very key component of the happiness cocktail.
Oh my gosh, it's I can't think of anything that wouldn't be a part of.
Yeah,
Self
for
self
everything.
respect, self confidence, um,
So
self
yeah,
image.
I exactly. And and I know that it's for some people it's harder, and for all of us, like we have some days. And I always tell them every negative thought that you have about yourself, find the positive one. I mean, I'm short, let's say physically. Well, you can wear heels. I'm
Ah,
tall. You don't need to wear heels. I'm shy. Shy. I'm mysterious. Like every word you can find. Like, let's say, yeah, if you're shy, you're mysterious, and I think it's sexy. And even like on our daily word sentences, we can use that too. Instead of saying spend, we can say I invested.
ah, that's very true. I like that. I like that. That's I was saying the other side of the coin.
So
So learn to
exactly,
flip it, learn to spin it, and I've been accused of wearing rose-colored glasses, and I've said to people, well, the world is a prettier place when you look at it through rose-colored glasses. It's just because you can see that the opposite
exactly.
side is true. But I would imagine, tell me if I'm wrong on this, I would imagine that um, instinct just to go to the negative is built into the 50% of the genetics and the biology.
Yes. So we have to train that 50% to see the positive and just shift the perspective. And
Love
if
it.
we're not good enough with it, I advise you to write on post-its a lot of compliments about yourself and stick those post-it at a place that you go often, your kitchen, your computer, your bathroom wall. And every time you feel a little low, go and take one of them and read it. A
Makes
self-love confidence boost.
keep affirming it. Keep affirming it and seeing it. And there was a line in the movie Pretty Woman: if you hear something often enough, you start to believe it.
Yeah, I think
So
it's beautiful. Yeah. You know, it's like my story. I told you when I came to New York, I gained weight. So actually, I did this mirror exercise because, like, when I looked at myself in the mirror, I was like, I'm not very tall. So 40 pounds on my body was huge. And I was like forcing myself to stand naked in front of the mirror and find at least one thing about my body that I love. And it wasn't easy at the beginning. I started with the hair, with the fingers, with the shoulder, and slowly, slowly, I embraced the curvy woman that I became, and I embraced myself, and I started loving myself. So along these years, I gained weight, I lost weight, I regained, but my self-love never changed because when I see myself in the mirror, I'm like, I look damn good.
hey, oh,
And
good for you. Good
it's
for
about
you.
self-love. And it's
Self-love.
funny because when I lose weight, people don't say you lost weight. They're like, you look good. I'm like, is there something new about, like, nobody can point it out because like they don't get it. It's my energy.
They're
And it,
not seeing that. They're seeing you.
yes,
They're
exactly.
not seeing the external. That's true. People will say, "Did you get enough sleep? Are you?" That's true. That's true. Okay. What's point number five? What's the fifth ingredient?
It's enjoy, like the bon vivant girl that I am. You have to enjoy now. I mean, the past, it's the past. Take as a lesson. If it was like great stuff, be proud of it. The future, it's the future. You cannot control it. But we're so busy by being stuck in our past or like projecting for the future that we're not enjoying now, this present now. You and I talking, you and I sharing this. We people have tendency to not enjoy life because they're too
Yes.
busy preoccupied by their past, by their future, by what's going to happen, and we hold on to grudges. So we have to let it go and just say, I'm happy. I'm like enjoying the moment that I'm sharing with you.
And back at you, because you and I have never met. We don't rehearse. We don't do scripts. We just come on and have,
Yes,
we're two new friends, and I'm so enjoying this because you're saying so many things that are really rather obvious. They're practical. They're obvious. They're doable.
yes,
I'm sure it does. I'm sure I'm not telling you something new, but smile, move, invest, self love, and enjoy is SMILE.
I know. So the happiness cocktail, if you it doesn't have any alcohol, but if you drink it, you'll smile because all these ingredients are a smile.
Here's to you. I'm taking a sip of my happiness green tea, drinking to you, my new friend. So I'm talking in a couple of weeks to a group about mindset. And you and I chatted a little bit right before we came on camera, just when we were saying hello to each other. And we used the word choice. Mindset is an attitude, right? It's a core of beliefs that are very personal sometimes. It's my mindset, your mindset. We're all entitled to it, but it's an attitude. And oftentimes I have found with people when I'm talking to them about their mindset, it's they're hanging on to old things. It's like clinging to the past when it doesn't matter anymore.
Yes.
So give us, as you as a psychotherapist, what's the best way to release that? Is it just to decide? Is it just to,
It's doing a spring cleaning.
well, here we are in the
Yes.
United States, we're in
So,
spring.
yeah, getting rid of anything or anyone that doesn't belong to your life today. What I mean by that, it's like, I mean, of course, you should do like weekly because there's self-care too. Like weekly, you should clean one area in your apartment or in your home. But this spring cleaning, my mom calls like people who don't bring happiness to my life the bad seeds. And you have to get rid of those people. I'm sorry. It's like you have to bring people that love you, surround yourself with love. And So decluttering the unnecessary so you can make space for the real thing. And what I mean by that, imagine, I mean, I know, let's say an ex-boyfriend, you keep their picture. That is taking physically and emotional space in your apartment. Get rid of it. Those skinny jeans, get rid of it. That you wore like 40 years ago or 30 years ago, get rid of it. Make space for the new stuff, for the fresh stuff, for the stuff that you want in your life. Those friends who don't, who criticize you all the time, get rid of them. They're not bringing you, they're not criticizing you to help you. It's not constructive. Surround yourself with love, with things and people that bring you happiness and upbring you, support you. You don't have
And
time
again,
to live
so
with those.
that goes to what we were saying before. Those are choices that you make. So,
Yes,
am I getting from you that some people actually choose to hold on to that which makes them unhappy?
yes, they do. Because it's, again, it's the comfort zone
It's
that we
comfort,
talk.
right?
It's
That's
like
very
it's what we're used to, It's like, and it was hard for me, but I did the cleaning around me. And some friends that were dearly, I wasn't happy having them around me. And it can sound selfish, but I have to protect myself because my self-love is the most important.
absolutely. I would say to people, it's time that you rewrite your Christmas card list because sometimes you got to start, just speaking figuratively, you need a new Christmas card list. You need to bring new people into your
Exactly.
into your life. So if we smile, we move, we create some energy, we invest in gratitude, which I think you cannot overstate. And the gratitude and the smile, they kind of come together so
They're all
that
linked together. They're all
they
linked.
do.
Invest in declaring too. Invest and move, like moving your life, invest in opportunities. So they're all linked together. It's just that I had to put some ingredients in my cocktail, so I put them the
But
names.
it's good because then it makes it easy to remember. So I know that you're a happiness coach for women, and I mostly coach women as well. Do women tend to, I want to put this in the happiest way, are women more able to find happiness, or are we more invested in holding on to that comfort zone?
Well, as a woman, you must know that we hold on to our comfort zone
Yeah.
because we're scared. It's unfortunately, this is something that happens. And I have a lot of clients who come to see me. They're like, I have everything. I should be happy where I'm not happy. They're married, they have this, they have like everything they want. I said, maybe that's not what you want. Did you ever
Uh,
think that? She goes like, if I ask for more, ask like, if I want to change, it will sound like I'm spoiled or like I'm wanting too much. I said, well, what do you want? Let's list, like we have to know what brings us joy. It's why like listing our passions and our aspirations is very important. I mean, being married is great, but if this marriage doesn't work, maybe this is not for you.
right,
It's our life is like maybe our job, it's great, we have a great salary, but if this work doesn't bring you satisfaction, you spend most of your life at work. Maybe that's not the solution for you. Maybe
right,
you should
right,
start looking. And I'm not saying again, it's like get divorced, leave your job, and just go and live like happy and like no, discover what makes you happy. Maybe your marriage is not happening because you're just too focused on it and you're not exploring your passions. If you add your passions, your marriage is going to be even better. Maybe you can do
right.
that with your partner.
Right. And I've coached with women where I've said, you mentioned, people feel guilty perhaps if they think they want more or need more.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need less. Sometimes you actually, when you think about it, we require very, very little we don't want to just survive, of course, but we can really eliminate a lot. One of the things that I find that women often have a very difficult time with is saying no,
Yes.
particularly
People
to other
pleaser
women,
because yeah.
because we think we're judged by them, we think they won't love us enough, we think that we don't have, but then we put too much on our plate and that adds pressure to us and it's taking away our personal time and space. And suddenly we're not smiling and suddenly we're moving, but we're moving toward the wrong things. How do women learn to say no? and put that in context so that they really can protect themselves and build their own happiness. In other words, it's not my job to make you happy. It's my job to make me happy. And when I'm happy, hopefully that goes over to you. But why do women always want to please other people?
Because I think, I mean, we are grown, we grew up like thinking that that was our job to
Right?
take care of the family. It's our job to, take care of everyone, of the kids, of the partner, of this. So it's like I think we're like our model is like we're done. We grew up with this thought, and this now the new generation they don't care about this.
No,
But
that's so true. That is so true. I think it changed for me. I observed it when I was in my first business, and there were women who were maybe a half a generation older than I, and they were educated women. They had gone, and I'm using their own words, they had gone from their father's home to the sorority house to their husband's house. They never worked. They had the 2.5 children, the dog, the house, the two cars, the this, the that. They had what by definition seemed to be all, that they had it all. Women were
yeah,
supposed to have it all. In talking to them, some of them didn't want it. Some of them just didn't want to have it all. But I think that's when it changed, was when we were told we were wrong if we didn't want it all, or we were wrong.
yeah,
Some women don't need it and don't have the skill sets in some cases to achieve what other women can. I mean, that's natural. You're a psychotherapist. I'm not.
yeah.
But we're kind of on the same vibe. Women put a lot of pressure on ourselves, I think is what it comes down to.
I think we do that. And what I love about the new generation is that they do whatever they want. We were trying to please everyone, but this new generation, and I think they're right. If you want to be single, be single. If you want to have kids, have kids. If you want to have kids without getting married, do it. If you want to please everyone, do it, but because it's your choice, not because, you learn to do that. It's like it's really we have to find ourselves and then do whatever we want to do, not what society asked us to do or how we grew up learning what to do.
Or demands of us. Yes. Yeah, that's so true. You're right. The younger generation, they don't want the stuff. They want the experiences more than the stuff. They are moving,
Exactly.
I guess. Yeah, so kudos to them. You make it sound, and it is achievable. It comes back to the word choice. Feel free to make your own.
Exactly. It's a little work, but it's a fun work.
And it's a life's work, right? You don't ever stop it.
No, you never stop. It's like every day. But every good thing you have to work for it. And I make fun of my niece because like she says, I want to find this job where I don't work a lot and I get all the money. I said like everything that you want in life, you have to work. That even those, influencers that you watch, don't think that they're just posting a picture. There's a lot of work behind.
Oh, yeah, there's no overnight successes, that we know.
No.
Those are people who, yes, that is so true. It's a false perception. So the takeaway from this conversation, which I am so grateful, expressing my
Too.
gratitude to you, is that we get to make choices every day and all throughout the day. And then the next day, we can make different choices the next day. We can look back and say, that wasn't the better choice that I made. I can make a better choice today than I did yesterday. So it comes back to choices, it comes back to preferences, it comes back to that 10% of the external factors of what's important to you. You can walk around and you can see women that you admire for so many different reasons, how they physically look, how they appear, how they present themselves. And if that's what makes them happy, God bless them. But for
Yeah.
some women, I go, wow, look at her. She's just, she's a hot mess and she knows it. She's a hot mess. She knows it. She's good with it. And she's still smiling. She's still bringing joy to other people. And she still is happy. So it's that
Yeah.
10%.
The thing is, if we base our happiness on those 10%, the problem is those 10% can come and go. So it's not going to be sustainable happiness. But if we
Right.
base our happiness on those 40% and train ourselves through the genetics, it's It's where we can really find our smile.
So let me ask you something. That study that you quoted those statistics from, 50% genetics and biology, 40% intentional activities, and 10% external factors. If we work, can we adjust those numbers? I mean, the biology is the biology, but can we ever work toward 50-50?
I think 50-50 we cannot because we will always base the 10% on the external factors.
That will stay constant. But we can
Yes, and
change
then
the.
actually, I'm going to tell you something. If we work on those 40%, I promise you, the last 10% will come by itself. Because if, think, I
Yes,
have a lot of clients who come to me, they're single, they're like, cannot find someone, and like they're this and that. But their biggest issue, it's not finding a partner. It's like because they're not ready or like they don't have the self-love to attract the right person. The
right.
minute that they find their self-love, the right person knocks on the door. And there you go. They worked
There
on
you
the
go.
40% and the 10% came.
There you go.
Because
Something
like
else.
they have like, yeah, tell me. Sorry.
What are the happiness cards?
So the happiness cards, on social media, I share daily happiness tips. And my clients ask me, they say, you should do those cards that we can enjoy every day. So these cards, there are like 52 cards, and every day you can take one. It will give you a happiness tip, and you can play it with the family. With my boyfriend, we do every morning. We pick one of, say, this is your affirmation of the day, your happiness of the day. And you
I
can base
love
your
that.
life on it. Yeah.
So it's like an affirmation, but it's one that you
Gives you
choose to
happiness
start
tips.
picking it. It's not one that starts here. You just pick it and then you can actualize it. I love that. Because sometimes affirmations can be hard. It's hard to kind of design it the right way. There's kind of a formula to it. You just make so much sense.
Thank
I
you.
love that I have gotten to know you. And boy, you have a smile that lights up the room. And I imagine that that is so much your personality, what you bring to your clients and how you help them is because you're living it yourself. You lived it, you did it. And
Yes.
you've experienced it. And guess what? That's why, hello, we're on B.E.P Talks, beliefs, experiences, and passions. So I think we've kind of covered that all today. I want to let people know how they can reach back to you. So here it is. All you have to do is click this button. Happiness awaits. Your happiness cocktail is just 5 ingredients away. And guess what? You don't even have to go out and buy those ingredients. They're not just in your home, they're actually in your heart and in your mind. It's smile, move, invest in gratitude,
Love
love
and enjoy.
yourself, love yourself because you deserve it. And as Natalie told us, it's foolhardy to think you will be loved by others if they don't have a sense that you are lovable. And you are lovable. So tell yourself, I am lovable. And you will attract that love. That will become, that's an intentional activity which will change the external factors. And 5, enjoy. That's smile. Enjoy in the moment. Be in the moment. Forget the past, forgive the past. Is that a good thing to say? Forgive the past. Take from the
Yes,
past what you can use to build a better future.
exactly. Because living in the past, it's not going to help you to move forward. It's going to just hold you back. Let it
I
go.
let it go. Let it go. So if you are what you eat, no, you don't need to eat a skinny girl. You just need to love yourself exactly as you are. And as Natalie experienced in her own life, and I experienced that too. As soon as I'm trying to lose, oh, I want to lose 5 pounds. All I do is focus on food and I gain weight. So if you're
Yeah,
not focusing on it, it's better. So
yeah.
I thank you. I thank you so much for your practicality, your enthusiasm, your knowledge, your experience. And mostly, I thank you for sharing it with us today on B.E.P Talks. And I invite everybody, please go. Your happiness awaits. It's not far away, it's a decision. Go, get it. And we want to send you away with a smile. Don't we, Natalie? We want to smile. And as we always say on B.E.P Talks, you're going to like this. We always say on B.E.P Talks, where we share our beliefs, our experiences, and our passions, may the best always be yet to come, which means, right, it's out there in the future. it can keep getting better and better and better, little by little. Find your happiness. Be happy. You deserve it.
Say yes to happiness.
Find your happiness. So, from all of us here at B.E.P Talks, we thank the audience. I thank with so much sincerity your presence here today, for all that you've taught us, for all that you've reminded us of. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, to
Thank you so
everybody
much.
else, until we talk again, may the best always be yet to come. Be good to yourself and smile.